Yeah, I mean, yeah. You know, they ain't throwing it like us. I mean, yeah.
Always used to make them ourselves.
Perfect.
Yeah, not good, not good. I was just talking about. Wait a minute, we won't start it like that. What's going on, everyone, ladies and gentlemen? YOLO Podcast,
What's
episode
happening?
21. Chop block, Desmond, the goat. Chop block. You hear me? I work for Berkeley. Kai was saying that last night. He's like, "You work for Berkeley." I'm like, you know what? I guess I do. They don't even know it. I'm an employee, and they don't even know it. I'm on the payroll and everything.
You need shares. You need shares of the company at this point because I'm not gonna lie. I think if it wasn't for the anglers that are actually putting boots to the ground, uh, yeah, yeah.
Listen, Berkeley Fishing, I just want you to know this, right? We could talk about a lot of different things, but the bottom line is, in the face of adversity, when those around me were laughing, when they were saying, you're a fake glide bait fisherman. You're not messing with the flag. You know, you're out here with this bullshit $30 mass-produced junk. In the face of that, I told them no. And I had no reason to. I had no reason to. I told them no. I said, you know what? I don't care. This is the best saltwater glide bait on the market. They don't even know it. They don't even know what they did, but they did it. They don't even listen. Here's the funniest part, right? They don't even want you fishing this for snook or tarpon or anything really.
I
That's a
do
Except
real
think
for
that's weird.
bass.
conspiracy.
I
So
do
That's a
think
real
that's weird, bro.
conspiracy. Can we
that's
talk
been
about
my
that?
big thing.
Can
So
we talk about that?
now we have this snook post, 100,000 views in 8 hours, and everyone's wondering what's the glide? What's the glide? And I've been responding. Well, it's a Berkeley chop block, but I don't recommend it because they don't. They
Mm.
tell you to fish it for bass. So on this podcast, I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, do not throw that bait that I continuously catch high 30s plus snook on and tarpon and giant bass and everything else. Don't throw it in the salt. Please don't. Berkeley does not recommend it.
We
Okay, they
starting
have
on time
another
today, man.
something down the line for you, right? But no, never throw the chop block for a snook. It doesn't work. And that's my little rant to start this pod. How you guys doing?
Damn. Damn.
Invigorated,
Damn. Damn.
invigorated.
Damn. Damn. Damn.
we
Damn.
started we started hot today. I'm liking it.
Oh man. All right.
guys, guys, welcome to YOLO episode 21. Uh, I say more? It's the boys today. It's the boys.
Man, look.
The craziest thing too, they market it as like a pike bait, and I'm like, bro, from what I can tell, you could throw a hot dog in front of a pike, and it's just to
I
eat
mean,
it.
listen, they got a guy on Instagram talking about, oh, this is a stupid bait, this 10-inch. I mean, look at this. How is a bass gonna? Yeah, I agree, dude. The hook is this big. The hook is this big. That's not for a largemouth. That's for a 40-inch snook. But no, everyone wants to talk about, oh, this and that. Berkeley themselves wants you to throw it for largemouth. So yes, throw baits where the treble hook, it's actually this big. The treble is actually this big on the 10-inch. And you can throw that for largemouth. That's what Berkeley is saying. Throw that for largemouth,
They
and
don't
that's
even know,
it.
man.
Okay?
So this is the thing that's really crazy because if that's for largemouth, and I've heard rumblings, I don't know if this is official development or not, but I've heard rumblings that there's supposed to be a saltwater version of the chop block coming soon. So my question is,
What are they changing? What?
what hooks are you gonna put on that? If the hooks on it right now are already saltwater.
No,
It's
they're
gonna
not
be-
though. They're for bass though.
They're gonna be one size 4X treble hooks.
I really do wish I had a 10-inch chop on me right now so I could properly display this to the viewers. But basically, the hook hanger system, which by the way, might I add, again, free promotion, is really good
It's a
system.
really good, yeah, it's a really good system.
I had an 8-inch. I am not even exaggerating. 10 fish over 30 on that 8-inch. And that hook system with that rope wasn't breaking.
I will say
it wasn't breaking. But yeah, they got a hook hanger system, and the front treble hook is literally the size of my head.
Yo, it just keeps getting bigger every time Eric talks. It went from the Mentos bottle to the pill bottle.
you remember that? You remember that video where like Ray J kept like turning his hat and shit like that?
Yeah. Hey yo,
Bro, listen.
That is so. But no, the
Listen.
point that Eric is trying to get across to you is that, and we're not going to point out Berkeley specifically. We don't want to point out.
Oh,
Berkeley
it's so many companies, bro.
But yeah, fishing companies in general get so caught up in a box of, okay, we make this and it's for this and we can only market it for this. I don't feel comfortable marketing it for anything else that it could possibly catch, even despite how successful it may be and how much money it may make me and all of this and that. It's no, this is oriented towards this, and this is the only thing that we will focus on when it comes to that. And I get it to an extent, but I just feel like, especially in
At a certain point, they gotta wake
2026,
up, bro.
like,
They gotta wake up.
why are we boxing ourselves in like this? Obviously, it's a do at your own risk type of
Yes.
thing. We get it was not developed to catch giant saltwater fish, but it does, and it does it well. So
Yeah, we gotta speak on that too.
Embrace that. We've been absorbed into this society where instead of just embracing something for what it is, they have to go, and it's like Apple when they change the iPhone every year, and then after a few generations they change the port on it, so you can't use your old chargers no more. No. Now you gotta go buy a
Manufactured
new.
obsolescence.
Now you gotta go buy a new $40 charger.
Manufactured
because
obsolescence.
all they did was change the fucking colors that you could get it in, and the size of it, and the shape of it, and it's got the same camera as the last 16 of them, and everything else. It's like,
Did you hear the new thing about the new iPhones that are coming out?
no, I didn't, and I really don't
Okay.
want to. But go ahead, tell me. Tell me.
I can't say it on the pod. Actually, it's too controversial. It's too controversial.
We don't have any Apple ties. Like,
It's too controversial.
The new parts of Apple's a lot of Apple's iPhones in the next coming years will be manufactured by military corporations, like private defense.
I would have expected that to be the standard already.
Meaning, like
it probably already is the standard.
I mean,
they could flood the market in just one country with this specific type of phone, and then just like blow everyone's head smooth off. It's just like the click of a button. Like, yo, press the button, just boom, boom, boom. You remember when Samsungs were exploding?
We know that playbook. We know that playbook.
Yeah.
We know that playbook. we ain't got to speak on that.
But it's so crazy that like snook culture is such a beloved and desired culture. Like everybody comes down here for snook. Everybody flies down here. Everybody wants to get on. People pay hundreds of dollars for these prize fish. Yet there's such a marginalized fish when it comes to product development, marketing, actual knowledge on how to take care of them. It's basically left up to the actual angler to actually fill these people in rather than these companies. For the longest time, Savage Gear was like all of those baits were only marketed for pike and muskie, even though
Yeah.
I feel like the primary like customer base for Savage Gear right now is bass and snook and tarpon guys,
Mhm.
and they don't really like overseas they use it for pike because they don't got snook, but like they only just started this year like kind of waking up to like, oh yeah, these guys like we should probably shine more light on like saltwater fishing for Savage Gear, and I think it's
I
just
think it's
crazy.
a relatively new thing for people to be kind of stepping into this market of more intricate, expensive baits when it comes to inshore saltwater fishing. I think the standard of that was just kind of like your DOAs
Mhm.
and your cheap, simple, soft plastics or plugs, you know what I mean, mirror lord type stuff. Like kept it real simple. Saltwater guys kept it real simple. You know what I mean? And still do. But like as times develop, just like with everything else, things will be getting to get a little bit more complicated, let's
Yes.
say.
He
You know
brings
what
up a
I
great.
mean?
I think Desmond brings up a really interesting point too, and I'll speak on just this country specifically. This is a global thing, but I feel like there's this almost attitude with a lot of other people throughout the country, and I shared this to a certain extent. When we were growing up in Jersey, I didn't gravitate towards snook videos. I didn't gravitate towards tarpon videos because I didn't have access to them. I couldn't relate to that. So I
Yeah.
feel like there's almost this attitude within the industry where it's like, oh, well, they're just in Florida.
Yeah.
Snook are just in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's not a big enough market. When in all reality, the funny thing about it is, well, first of all, Florida makes up what, like 15% of the country's fishermen, 10%. Who know? Not some. It's probably some ridiculous percentage. But I mean, no. Yes, the answer is yes. There is quite literally an entire market that exists within the state of Florida just for the snook. It's beautiful to see that it is sustainable like that, and it does exist. But you're right; it's like pretty untapped, relatively still. I would say,
Yeah.
and I think we saw it when we that throwback eat went up when we got that first eat on that metro, that cichlid. The amount of people that were introduced to this whole snook scene and culture that like didn't even know it existed, and then like a bunch
No.
of guys within the culture being introduced to a new technique to potentially go out there and catch them with. So the whole thing is very interesting to me.
New
And
tech.
I feel honored to be a part of it in some way. I feel honored to be embraced by some of these guys that have been doing it for way longer than we have been. Like we don't listen. You may hear us talk our shit sometimes about the gliding and the backwater stuff, but we're also very much aware that this is a fish and a tactic, and it's just been people here doing this for, I mean, decades, centuries longer than we have been, and we acknowledge that and we respect that. But yeah, it's a honor to fish for this fish within this culture because there's not many things quite like it that exist from what I can see. It's a unique thing.
Yeah. I kind of got off the water like snook fishing wise when I was in Orlando, and then now that I'm back in Tampa, I started fishing for them again, and I was like, yo, why did I even leave Tampa? Like you see, bro, every single bite feels like a bass soft bait bite. It's just like boom. I'm like no matter the size of the snook, I let out a little yelp every single time I get hit by a snake. I'm like, oh shit! Oh,
Yep.
it's
It's like
it
that.
yeah. And
It's
and you
like
know what's
that.
crazy too? On the flip side, for like the North guys with the saltwater in Florida, it's the same thing I've noticed, especially for me with trout. For the longest time, up until I pretty much started the pod, or like I started potting with you guys, like trout just was like I was like, oh, okay, it's a weak tiny fish, like they're in like a foot of water, whatever, like bro, shut up. Anyways, but then like once I seen a video of I think it was like some type of salmon, it was just running in like 6 inches of water, and it's just like I was like, damn, wait, hold on, hold on, hold on, y'all might got something over there. And then I started like look deeper into it, and then I was like, okay, of course they're not gonna fish with like 20-pound line with 20-pound leader. They're gonna fish it with like ultralight. That's what makes it fun. And it's about like going to these cool these cool places. And then ever since then, I'm like, okay, I kind of want to get on trout bite. And I feel like it, like you said, it's just like having access to it or relating to it. Because the average guy in Cali isn't going to relate to a striper bite in up in Jersey. It's two different
No,
things.
no. This is like the closest, honestly, that you get to that trout fishing feel down here is like the backwater fishing and exploring these rivers down here. It's just something about river fishing in general and that
Yeah.
style of fishing of having to cover water and find holes and the way that fish move and position and set up.
Understanding how the river's set up.
Yeah.
And it's funny because when you start to understand that based upon currents and bends and runs and this and that, you realize that every river across the country holds similarities. And it's
Yeah.
cool because some of the trout fishing that we've done 1,200 miles away, walking in crystal clear, cold water streams, I think we've equated in different ways to the snook fishing and knowing how they set up in certain pools and how they're going to position to feed and when and why. It's a very dynamic way to fish. I love rivers because on a trippy baked thought, you're quite literally never fishing the same water.
Never.
Hmm.
Never. It's constantly flowing,
Yeah.
constantly changing. The fish are constantly cycling and it's just never the same thing. I mean, river fishing is like you go out every single time you see something different, you
Yeah.
experience something a little bit different. And that's fishing in general, but we all know this. Like you go fish lakes or whatever, I mean, that's going to, you got a threshold there.
Yeah.
You know what's going to happen. When that river environment, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what you're going to
Mhm.
listen.
There might be 1,000 gar when you think that there's a bunch of snook there. There might be
Yeah,
10,000 gar that are just
Yeah,
waiting.
you might think it's 10,000 gar, or it might be a 10-foot bull shark in the
Yeah.
mangroves up in the Sweetwater,
Can you
in a
talk about that,
foot
bro?
of water, in a foot of water. Kai, what was that like from your perspective when I hooked that
I
thing?
mean, I just see Eric just like trying to catch up to this thing, and I can tell it's fucking big. I see the fucking wake of this thing pushing, and I'm like, yo, what is it? And this thing like goes shallow, and Eric's like fucking trying to put the brakes on it, and I think literally like the pressure that Eric was putting on him, and the fact that he had got so shallow had literally just forced him to jump. And I just see this thing come full fledged out of the water like a fucking salmon or some shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
The
Like
more I
the
look
biggest
back,
shark that I've seen on a glide yet, for sure.
the more I look back and review the footage, that was a really big shark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a big, big shark. And
Yeah.
we were not even, ladies and gentlemen, we weren't even in brackish water. We were in what they call the Sweetwater, And that's just a friendly reminder because about 2 hours earlier, when I was fighting that 40, Kai had made the suggestion. He's like, "You might have to get in," and I was thinking about it, and I was highly considering it. But the funny thing is, what caused me to not get in at that moment was like, well, there might be a gator down there, which there turned out to be. We released that fish, and then we look up, and there's a gator floating on the surface. But that fish that I hooked later in the day, that is what I would be more concerned about. And it seems like there's quite a few of them around.
Oh yeah.
Seems like there's quite a
There's
few
one that was
around.
waking on my K9 like probably two or 3 weeks ago. It was nowhere near that size. It was definitely like a freshie, like a young freshie bull shark. And I'm seeing it like go crazy, and I was just like, that's sick, bro. That's sick.
That's crazy. Yeah, we were talking about
Yes. Crazy how things play out.
that on the last pod. It happened.
Mhm.
Dude, it
Yeah.
happened.
Nothing is a coincidence, guys.
Yeah.
What's
Nothing
funny?
is.
It wasn't even a crazy eat. Like it was it was just a random cast up in the groves, and it was almost like an eight. And then you saw me. I was like catching up with it. You guys see? I'm
Yeah.
like catching up with it, catching up with it. I'm like, what do I have on here? I feel it kind of like struggling to try and swim in the shallow water. And then all of a sudden, like Kai said, like I tried to really put the brakes on it, and then it just said, "Oh, I'm a 10-foot shark," and decided to go the other way. And when it went the other way, you know, I'm battling it, and then it comes up, and luckily I just got it in the camera view. It's like at the top end of the camera, but you could see it, and I mean,
which is a crazy size for like a Sweetwater like region, guys. I don't know if people know this for like, but like for background, they normally get like 5 to 6 feet before they move out. So like, what was that thing doing in there?
dude, I don't know. And then the
Yeah.
craziest part is everyone asked if I got my glide back, the chop lock. Not only did I get the chop lock back, I mean, listen,
But it's only meant for bass.
hate doing it.
But it's only
That thing survived a 10-foot bull shark. I got that thing in. It was fine. I kept fishing it. I hooked like a high 30 snook later in the day, and it was fine. After the bull shark, I got it back. I want to scratch on it. I don't know where I hooked that shark. Obviously, I didn't hook it like in the teeth, but
yeah.
still, I mean, just the sheer power of that animal, like the fact that I got that chop block back in one piece, man.
That is pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
Shout out, shout out. But
That is pretty
it's for
Insane.
bass though. I don't recommend it though. I don't recommend it. It's for bass.
It's for bass only, guys. It's only for bass.
We got some music this week.
Yeah. So, how's everybody feeling music wise? Like we got some cool stuff actually. I like Eric's actually. I was listening to this song over and over again last night when I was driving to Orlando. There's like the little like part where he pings the guitar right before the actual instrumental starts. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Chef's
no, that
kiss,
was
dude.
just listen, that one in particular, Rain When I Die, Alice in Chains. It's no secret that 2026 has been a big Alice in Chains kick for Uncle Larry Outdoors.
Yes.
That was just the last song. It was the last song that played as I pulled up to the boat ramp with Kai that morning. And quick backstory on that morning, it was the one day of the entire month of May that we'd gotten to fish together. I know I mentioned this in the caption briefly, but it went from, a couple of years ago. Kai and I are getting out there at least once, twice a week, probably more. And, now as life begins to life, all of a sudden it comes down to one day a month last month. And that was it. It wasn't even going to happen until the last second because my flight got pushed back. So we go out there. Rain When I Die ends. I get out of my Jeep. We launch the yaks. It took a minute and a half for that clip to happen, that catch. So, I mean, that song just has to be associated with it somehow, in some way.
Mhm.
Alice in Chains.
That's
The
fire.
best.
That's fire. Yeah, I went
Next up,
with
we got Kai.
Mexico Dro Hurt. I fuck with Dro, man. He's a real positive figure. Real
Yeah.
positive
Mm.
figure. Not many rappers out there talking like Dro right now with the same tonality and the same style. You know what I'm saying? And I respect it. I respect it a lot.
He's got some
Grown
crazy
man
lore
shit.
too. He's got
Oh
some
yeah.
crazy lore too, bro. He's like the background. He's like the background puppet master of like the entire underground of the last 10 years, and people are just now getting hip to it.
Bro
It's
shit.
crazy, bro. Crazy.
Bro shit.
For me, I got pornography from Travis Scott's Rodeo.
Classic.
Ti's little monologue in the beginning, or I guess in the middle. One of the hardest. Like sometimes, if I ever got to lock in, I'll just play this. One of the greatest songs of all time.
That's a man, rodeo. That one can go down in history right there.
Classic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Even the non Travis Scott fans can agree that there's some bangers on there. You
Mhm.
can't deny that, ladies and gentlemen. We got a few. Let's see. We got Unreal, the Unreal boys in the chat tonight. Shout out to them. I see a lot
Hey.
of us within them. The group dynamic of what you guys do is really cool. Keep doing your thing. Favorite Alice in Chains song? It's gonna be anything off of the live album, the MTV Unplugged. To be totally honest with you, that I wasn't a big listener growing up of that particular band. And it really was that live performance in particular. When I heard that for the first time, it put not only them, but kind of like grunge music in general in a whole new light for me, because when you're a kid, you hear Nirvana and a lot of the popular stuff that's out there, including maybe I probably heard some Alice in Chains songs back in the day, but
Mhm.
you don't necessarily think as much of it in terms of instrumentation or lyrics or deeper meaning within the music. but then you strip it down to its bare bones form with acoustics, you know, and you realize, wow, those guys are incredible musicians, and they had a lot of really interesting things to say. So that's what got me into it. But yeah, specifically on that album, I'd say Frogs. Frogs on the live album, man. It's incredible. Let's see. Is there any more? I want to try, and I feel like sometimes I neglect the chat a little bit too much because it comes up really small here under you, Desmond. I can barely see it.
Hold on, I'm gonna put it up a little bit more that we can see it. Hold on.
That's okay. I just want to make sure that people feel heard tonight as well, because we appreciate.
Yeah, we
you
actually
guys being
got
in
somebody asking a question about BFS fishing. Have you guys ever done it before?
Man, no, well, you know, when we went to Florida, I feel like we kind of not eliminated ourselves, but kind of put ourselves out of that BFS category a little bit. Growing
It's
up
hard, bro.
north, we
It's
did
hard.
all kinds of finesse fishing. I feel like if we had stayed up north, we would have done that. It's almost like the opposite of the glide thing, right, Kai? 'Cause it's like
Yeah.
you go big baits to trigger them, or you go super finesse. And I feel like up north, I used to love going super finesse to trick big fish. So in that sense, I kind of wish we did a little bit, but I don't know. Would you BFS in Florida? What you guys think?
I
It's
mean, I
sketchy.
had a client do it out here on the river messing around with it, and I mean, it was just nonstop action. You know what I mean? Not any huge fish, but he had some shots at some big ones. Some big ones came out for that spinner, throwing it on 6 pound test. You know what I mean? Hooking everything. Brim, crappie, gar, bowfin, you name it.
I feel
So
like it's like a trade-off sometimes too, because like
yeah.
sometimes you run the risk of like messing up a fish because you're either fighting it for too long or you're breaking off baits in it. But then also you can get so many more bites with just downsizing everything. Because again,
Yeah.
like they always say, like the old heads used to say, elephants eat peanuts. And yeah, I feel like it's like a trade-off. But BFS for peas, I'm not gonna lie, BFS for peacock bass,
That's sick. That would be
yeah.
fun.
Or like some cichlids, because cichlids are like an insanely aggressive fish that not many
Yeah.
people talk about.
Yeah.
What about reds? BFS reds,
Yeah. That'd be
BFS
fun too.
sheeps, BFS sheeps
BFS
would be fun.
sheeps, BFS sheeps.
Because we
Not
well
gonna
we
lie.
used to well we used to
Yeah.
ultralight sheep a lot. That was
No.
yo, hey, you want something fun to do? If anyone's listening to this, live in any region where there's sheep's head, if you got, maybe a young son or daughter you want to get into fishing, ultralight rod, talking like 4.5 feet, get you a little 500 size reel, spool that thing up with like 30-pound braid. Like pretty heavy braid, maybe like a 30-pound leader, and then go just hit some docks with some crabs, and it's a blast. And you can handle them on the ultralight. I mean, it's a battle and a half. But if you got that heavier braid on there, you can handle them. And it was I remember having so much fun doing that when we first moved down. It's a good activity.
Sierra Richardson does it a lot. Yeah, Sierra Richardson's
That's
yes,
cool.
a
That's
Tampa
fire.
legend, a Tampa legend, man.
What's the flea shad? Was someone asked about the throwback baits flea
Yeah,
shad?
yeah. Hold on, I got one right here. Let me see. I
Oh
got
wow,
one
let me
right
see.
here.
I'm not even aware of what this is, so
Is that
Here,
what you gave me, Desmond?
yeah. So the flea shad is it's a complicated bait. It's like natural wine to me. It's some people hate it, some people love it. Um, so the flea shad is it's a multi-jointed bluegill swim bait from Throwback. However, unlike most traditional bluegill style swim baits where they do the S snaking motion, the flea shad has a very subtle like movement like this, almost like a shimmy, which is more natural to a shad's presentation, anyways. However, when you tune it correctly, that's the hard part. Tuning the flea shad is everything. But once you tune it correctly, you burn it.
mm,
Oh my
mm.
gosh.
It looks like a wake walker, right? Without the
Yeah, it's
bill.
a
Is that
wake
kind of
walker
what it
without the
is?
bill.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right.
Mm.
Hey,
Um,
Unreal. You missed my 10-inch chop block rant at the beginning of the pod. I'll give you the abbreviated version. Yeah. So it catches the biggest snook you'll ever see. you hook more tarpon on it than you'll hook on anything else, including a bait buster. But I don't recommend it because it's meant for largemouth bass. All right, continue with the pod. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, the fleet shad, I've caught a couple fish on it. The fish that I have caught in it are pretty sick actually, because I'll be burning it and you'll see the fish, like you'll see bass like go as fast as they can possibly for it. I've even had a couple bass like launch it out of the water and then it'll come back down and then you could just see them hit it right again. Like I've had fish eat it twice. It's insane.
Well, I like what Swim Bait Family is saying. The novelty of it is that the burn rate. I mean, we
Yes.
know for the salty species in particular, that's a
Yes.
triggering mechanism. You know, something that you could burn at those speeds and have it not blow out. That's pretty awesome. I would just hope that the hardware would hold up. If you
Oh
did
yeah.
if
Yeah.
you did happen to take that thing to go for the singular striped beasts of the
Yes.
groves, you know, just
The
might have to
blind
watch out
satis,
with them joints.
the robalos.
That's the only thing with multi-joint baits and snook fishing. The more joints you got, the more chance you got
More
something
failure
fucking
points.
fucking breaking. Yeah,
You know what
they
I want to
get
see
bit
more
though.
of? I want to see more of like those one piece glides that they have for like muskie down here in Florida.
Mm,
Or like those big top waters that you guys use for striper, like
Yeah.
those like
mm,
long pencil pot, like the long pencil baits. We need to see more of
hmm
those down here.
that's
I've
interesting.
I've thrown those one piece for the snook. They get fucking smoked. They
That's
get
sick.
smoked.
We got sent a couple Biwa one pieces. Remember them Biwa that I ain't
No,
gonna
Yeah.
lie, that thing got munched. You know, I didn't catch
no.
any giants on them, but they got munched. I feel like with any of these baits, I remember even that Biwa. The biggest thing with any of these baits you got to watch out for when you're talking snook, and this is just for the people out there in general, is the hardware. Just watch out with your hardware because I'll tell you what, even if you think it might be sweet, that snook is gonna show you that it ain't
No.
sweet.
Yeah. No.
We've
I
all been
learned
there.
I learned that very early on, and it happened to
Oh
be in
yeah.
front of somebody else, and it lives in my nightmares. It lives on my nightmares.
No one Bates reel. We were sent a few Bates reels, not sponsored. We're not sponsored by any reel company, for a matter of fact. So reel companies, hit us up, Uncle Larry Outdoors.
Oh
No,
shit.
actually, in
If you
the
want some
40,
real field
if
testing,
for those wondering, the 40-incher Pissy Fun. Is that how you pronounce it? Correct?
I
Yes.
think
Is that
so.
the correct
I think so.
pronunciation?
Yes. That
Listen,
is
I got
So.
something
that
to
is
say.
correct.
I got something to say, right? No, again, not sponsored. No affiliation here. Pissy Fun or Bates or anyone. If I was a civilian in the world and just had no affiliation to anything in the fishing industry and didn't work within social media and didn't, if I was just buying reels and baits and I'm buying 10 Pissy Funs and 0 baits. And
Yes.
it's not a knock on the baits reel. It's just the fact that one is $400 and one is $89.99. And I just caught a friggin' 40 on the $89.99 one.
Mhm.
So that to me, that's value. And I'm always looking for value in the world when it comes to that kind of stuff. So Pissy Fun, man. Kai's been using it.
They make good
I haven't
ultralight stuff too.
I
They
haven't
make
seen
really good
problems.
ultralights.
I haven't seen problems.
I caught a
I've seen
fucking barracuda on it, so and it's still working fine.
Nice.
Okay, this is all right. Unreal. Thank you for bringing this one up. We'll roll into this real quick on a little fishing discussion. First of all, sink fishing. They make something called the artisan gill. One of the better and more unique ABS glides that I've seen come to the market recently, and the thing straight up gets bit. As far
A
as
lot
the
of
action
details
that
to
you
it.
can implement, Unreal. The cool thing about it is you could do a little bit of everything. You can do that burn and it won't blow out. But then if you're burning it and you just stop. Not only will it sink per the name, but it'll give you a little like Kyrie shimmy shake hesitation, you know? It'll literally, you'll stop it and it'll go like, and that moment right there is when I've had a lot of success. I'll put you on game one technique that Kai sees me do out in the field quite often with the sink. I'll do the pull and stop technique, I like to call it. So I'll throw it out there, and I'm basically only implementing the rod. So I'm like pulling the rod like this, full slack, pulling it. The bait goes, and then when I get to the end of my pull, the bait stops and it sinks. And then I reel it back in on slack while the bait is sinking, and I'll do it again. Just like that, right? And I'll do that all the way back to the boat. That can be very triggering as well. The sink gill is one of the best glides I've ever done that technique with. I started it before that gill came out, but it's like the deal
It's like a
for that.
panicking bait fish.
Yeah. How would you say you fish that thing, man?
I see. Look, we getting a lot of questions, man. Look, you
We
gave
get a
him
very
enough.
lively discussion.
Look, yeah. Look, you gave him enough technique. I can't give away my truth. So
Dan, did I just give my whole shit away?
Look, y'all go do what he told you to do.
We are not insider trading today.
Y'all focus on
No
that.
more insider trading.
Hey, yo, I feel betrayed, man. I'm just gonna get
but
sauce out.
nah. That's our boy though. I'll give him some juice. I like fishing that thing like a lipless off the bottom. Yo in it off the bottom. Now obviously you gotta be mindful of
Yeah, you just gave him the sauce, bro.
where you do that at. But it's named the sink for a reason. And obviously burning it, working it quick on top, you're gonna get a lot of reaction strikes. But that's a very loud bait. That thing is ABS and it has rattles in it. So you got the rattles plus the joints clacking and the hook and everything. And you let that thing sink to the bottom. And similar to Eric's technique, but you're bringing it off the bottom. You just rip that thing up with your rod and then let it fall back down, rip it back up. And I like to do that around bridge pilings. And yeah.
I know you were gonna give him that
Go
much.
give that a try and tell me how it goes for you.
He didn't give y'all the sauce. He didn't give y'all the sauce, man. All right.
Alewives, have mixed emotions about alewives. They can be the greatest of providers, and they can be the equally, alewives giveth and alewives taketh away, just like God himself, right? That's my take on alewives.
Okay.
Florida, you don't even know what we're talking about.
Yeah, no, I was about to say. Yeah.
Foreign.
You don't know about
That's
wives.
a foreign creature.
No.
You know
Yeah,
about
no.
the wives spawn. Someone was I don't know if this is true or not. But someone was telling me that the name alewives derives from back in the day. There would be bars in the North Country where in little fishing towns, and the women who served the ales to the men would often have large bellies that worked in these bars, so they were called alewives, and that is where the term originated. That's absolute nonsense, most likely, but I did hear it from somewhere.
It sounds ridiculous enough to be true.
But I mean, you hear things from I mean, we see things on a screen and believe them all day, So
Yeah.
So who's to say that my alewives tale is not accurate?
Yeah. No, I completely believe it. Not gonna lie.
Hey man, shout out to the chat tonight. The chat's been great. Sometimes when we come into these particular ones with not a set topic, I know we were talking chopping a little, but you guys drive it. Ask us the questions. Tell us what to talk about. I don't know. Sometimes we don't know,
The Nessie is the Nessie is a bait that you can catch
It's a bait.
fish on.
It's a bait.
It is one of the Nessie is one of the baits of all time.
One of the baits of all time.
Yeah, it's a bait.
It's a bait.
If you guys
that was made and continues to get made and exists.
No, honestly, my honest opinion of the Nessie is, if you want to try and mimic the essence of what it is to fish a glide bait for very cheap. You know what I mean? If you want to
Pennies
spend
on the
any
dollar.
money
Pennies on the dollar.
and you want to just get out there and mess around with with a similar action to a glide bait, then by all means, go grab an Nessie. You will catch some fish. But my personal opinion is, it's got a lot of flaws. It's not the most ideal swim bait
Yeah.
in relation to all the other swim baits out there in that category. I'll say.
If you are walking into a retail store and you see a Nessie and a chop block next to each other, and you choose the Nessie, you need to stop fishing. Period. It's over for you. That's it. If you're choosing one or the other,
Yeah.
I'm not
I
gonna lie.
will say, I have not fished the new Nessie with the little trailer hook on it, and I think it's got a taller profile on it, so I think that might give it a different swim. I'm probably sure. I gotta mess around with it. Apparently, according to our friend Ben Hameen from the Baja, he loves it. He loves it. He says he gets bit. So I don't know. I gotta put in some time with the new one. I've only fished the old one with the single hook, and that thing was
Yeah.
it was a
That's where my
thing. It was a
predisposition
thing.
about the chop block and the Nessie came from, was because I fished in OG Nessie, and ever since then I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, now the
Eric literally had to
OG
force me to fish the chop block for me to like have a different disposition towards
Well,
it.
the
that's
OG reminds me of like when we used to fold paper planes back in school.
And then be like uneven.
yeah, that's funny. It's
That's
basically
crazy.
a fluke. Yeah, it is a
Yeah.
fluke.
Yeah.
That's most soft glides though. Like most soft glides that are like the really soft skinny ones are basically just glorified flukes.
Yeah,
The
but and
flag,
that and that's what and it's funny because there was a lot of so the Nessie does get bit, right? And it
yeah.
became a thing in the Bay in Southwest Florida. And it's funny because I was talking to this is not a knock on you at all, by the way, bro, but shout out to my boy Julian, trout guys. I remember I was talking to him back in this was like early, no one was throwing the chop block yet. This was probably before the fall run had even really happened with the snook. And he was a Nessie thrower because it was kind of a thing that was developing. A lot of guys were throwing
Nessie
Nessies. And
thrower.
I remember I was asking about the chop block and he was just like, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't like to swim. Like I tried it. I don't know. I think a lot of guys tried to throw it like they would throw a Nessie, not really understanding just like they look at the two and they see the similarities, but they don't realize just how different the Nessie and the chop block are. They are completely different
Yeah.
things that need to be utilized in completely different ways. So yeah, it's like if a Florida kid is throwing a chop block in Nessie water, and just like that's not it's a glide. It literally has stall power. It has rate of stall. Just a different conversation in general when you're talking
What
those
I
two
noticed
baits.
about it, what I noticed about the two is based off of me fishing them personally, is it's like the two facets of an already existing glide, but just split into like two like distinct versions. So the chop block, like the name says, it's more of like a chopping style, like it's not like a straight retrieve type of thing. But then the Nessie, it's got like that very tight, like it's like very tight,
You
but
could
you
just
can't chop
steady
it.
retrieve that thing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what?
It like the
Yeah, but you know where I'm gonna actually have to. I'm literally gonna stop you, and I don't know
oh
why
god.
I'm working for Berkeley. That's what's dirty about the chop block. You can't. If you get your rod tip, like if
Oh
you
yeah.
just
You
look,
can definitely do it.
you can that thing goes.
The
I feel
swim
it's
on it is unique. It's very
yeah.
unique. I can't say that I've gotten bit just swimming it like that, but I could see a fish coming up and popping it on that very tight. You know what I mean?
I don't
Just
And the
know if
bringing it
I've
small
up
got
to the
nesses
bit.
are
boat.
good.
I don't know if
The
I've
one
got
thing
bit
I
on
have
the
noticed with
swim.
the chop block is when you there's a speed that you have to work that at.
Yeah.
You can't just burn that thing back in
No.
and it stay like this. It always, especially in the current and the rivers and stuff, it's always got a slight kind of, once you get over a certain speed when you're bringing that thing back. There's a sweet point with it to where that thing stays stable like
Not enough
this.
people
And
talk about current with glides.
you really don't need to burn it. It's not a
No.
fast bait. That's not where the chop block excels for me most of the time. Is really working that thing slow and letting it fucking hang. You want that thing to get out there and hang for as long as it can
Like a
before
slow
it
seat
starts
glide.
sinking.
Yeah.
Almost
Exactly.
like a trick shad. Like a
Like,
trick
And,
shad.
and
or not even a trick shad, but like a V joint, the wide glide.
Yes,
Like
yeah.
yes.
that's what you want. You want that long meandering boom, boom. Let that thing boom. And Eric got that by working that chop fairly quick. Like he was chopping it, toot, 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 and then it ate it. You know what I mean? But especially with like, we're trying to dial in like these tarpon and shit too. The tarpon are they're a whole nother anomaly in themselves when it comes to the glide bait because it would drive you would drive yourself mad trying to hook these things, fishing it conventionally, how you would think a tarpon would eat a glide. They will fucking short strike and flash and
Yes.
foil behind that thing all day, and you won't hook one of them. But as soon as you slow that thing up and just let it kind of sit there, and as soon as it starts to sink within that first few seconds, that is when like 90% of the interactions that I have with those tarpon. So like what Eric was talking about with that rate of stall and that hang time, that shit is fucking that is the key when it comes to action on a glide bait specifically. Aside from being able to work that thing quickly and keep it stable and not have it do a bunch of wonky shit, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's all situational too. Like it's like sometimes you want that thing stalling. Here, I actually have a
Yeah.
question for you, Kai, because I was thinking about this. So that snook from yesterday that I'm sure everyone in this particular chat has seen that clip. If you look closely, so that fish was on it from the moment that chop block hit the water.
Hmm.
It was sitting way in the back of those groves behind that tree, and you can see it wake right when my chop hits the water. I didn't realize it was on the bait until that first boil, but then once that first boil happens, there's about a 3 second period where I know it's behind it, looking at it, and now I have to make a split second decision as an angler. What do I do to entice that bite? Do I rate a stall it again? Do I just let it go and try and get away from it? My thought in that moment, and you kind of black out, but when I have a big fish behind my glide bait, I think one main thing: keep it looking real.
Yes.
Don't make it do anything fucked up. So
Yeah.
that was my thing. Is like I knew with that chop, if I just kept it steady, like you said, that certain speed with that chop block. I knew if I
Yeah.
just kept it steady and kept it moving, that it would maintain its realness. And then I was hoping she would just eat based on that, and she did. But for both of you guys, when you see a big one behind it and you got to make that split second decision, what's your first thought? Is it to speed it up, slow it down? What do you do?
Always speed it up.
Yeah.
Always speed it. Like 90% of the time, speed it up.
Yeah.
Because if they're following it, it's all about reading the fish too in that moment. Once you notice you have a fish on you, you gotta like read their body language. Like you can tell how hot a fish is. If a fish is hot on that shit, keep them hot. Don't
You can
slow it
see by
up.
fin language too. Like
Yeah.
for me,
Mm-hmm.
since I'm a land-based angler, I gotta it's like super crucial. Like sometimes I either gotta speed it up or I gotta like kind of make sure it's like it stays in their face but it's still moving. For so
Yeah.
like for me today, like Eric was saying, like don't make it look fucked up. I
Yeah.
actually lost a very good bass today on the 250 because it was following the bait up and I just ran out of space, so I had to eight trap it. And
Mm-hmm.
then when I go to eight trap it, I make the wrong move with my rod, and the whole 250 literally keels over like this. It turns up, bass shot off. But
Yep.
then I've had certain scenarios where I've eight trapped fish and then I've caught it. but I did like maybe one other different movement. And when it comes to like land-based angling, you got to look at like, for me, I look at whether their fins are flared up. So like for me with bass, if I see that the fins are flared up and it's like, freaking out, I'm like, all right, it's either territorial or it's just fired up and it's ready to kill this thing. Or if it's like you said, like it's just chasing after like saltwater fish, they just want to like chase after it, just kill it right then and there. And
Yeah.
it's all based on just reading the language like Kai's saying, bro.
Yeah. That video of me with that client, my boy Mitch, out there on the river is like one of the best examples that I've seen, like in my personal experience of that, like in real time. Like that bass, before I told Mitch, I'm like, yo, record this because that's how long I had that bass engaged on that bait for. Just in the middle of the river in a fucking 10, 15 foot hole, 10 foot visibility, and he is 2 feet from my kayak as I'm working my glide bait with one arm in a fucking figure eight in a circle, just keeping this thing engaged. And it's
And the figure eight
like,
is much harder than people think. The figure eight is very like much harder than people think. It's not just like swishing it because you don't want your rod tip to enter the water because then they see
yeah,
that like they can feel that displacement. I feel like, or then like I said, like where I made it keel over, like it's very important to like learn how to properly eight trap fish. I've lost fish eight trapping improperly, especially with the ghost,
no.
bro. I've lost so many freaking fish eight
And
trapping it.
I don't even think that like the raw tip thing is the biggest deal. I think you just need to be able to gauge that fish. Like
Yes,
that
yeah.
that fish that I'm talking about specifically, my rod tip was fucking a foot in the water. He did not give
What?
a fuck. Go watch that video again. He did not give a fuck. I'm like this. I got this much line out, maybe. Like it's at my
Jeez.
rod tip, and I'm like this with my rod tip in the water, just
Oh
and
my
as soon as I sped it up, like I was working it slow, like this, just slow meandering glides, and as soon as I did a quick double kick, toot toot, you could see the switch go off in that. Like
Mm.
the body language, everything switched completely. As soon as I pulled that thing
well, so
away from
go.
him, he said, "Oh shit," and fucking opened his mouth, missed it, and then I fucking figure eighted him for another 20 seconds until I got him to eat. And he actually ate after I slowed it back up again. Because this fish was a phenomenon because he had a fucking blind eye. And that's why it
Mm.
was so hard for him to key in on it because it kept coming out of his field of
His
vision.
depth perception is probably off too.
I didn't pick up on it until the last second. I'm like, oh shit, I got to keep it on this side of him because every time it goes over here, he loses it. Yeah, and then I slowed it up so he could fucking key in on it. And he cracked it, but like
Mm.
just little things like that, being able to understand, like, yo, what is this fish doing? Is this fish just curious, or do I have a chance of actually hooking
Yeah.
this thing and trying your best to keep them engaged, not giving up? We always fucking clown decam for this shit, but I see it now and it's true. If you ever go fishing with decam, musky fishing in general, figure eighting is like it's like a sin if you don't do it after every single cast, and I'm not
Yeah.
exaggerating. Like DCAM will tell you to do this shit after every single fucking cast because you never know when you're throwing those big baits if a fish is tailing that thing from fucking 10 feet away, 15
Yes.
feet away. You know
Yes.
what I mean? Could be under the bait. You don't
That
know.
happened to me in Miami,
So
bro.
so yeah, if you keep it there at that boat, because think about how many eats you get at the boat or as you're pulling your bait out of the water, a fish decides to fucking take that last second chance and fucking clamp it. But if you give him another 10, 20 seconds, whirl that thing around just to make sure, you know what I mean? I think that technique in itself is applicable to more than just musky fishing because I can't tell you how many times fucking we've been out there and you pull your bait out of the water to make another cast and there's a absolute fucking giant just staring at you right there. You even
Yeah.
fucking see it till you're about to go make the cast already or something
Yeah.
like
Happened.
that. Or
It
like
happened
when
right
Or it
we were
comes
out
before
here
cruising
with
up.
Eric.
it
When we
happened
was
right
out here with
before
him.
I caught the fish. Literally, not 30 seconds before I hooked that fish, Kai goes to make another cast, and look, I'm like, yo, look behind you, and you look down, and there's just the disturbed water of a big snook that was just following his glide bait in on the previous cast. Had no idea. I mean, like he said, that probably happens to us collectively 30 times a trip, And if we just figure eighted every single cast, like Mr. Cam implies that you should do, maybe we would catch a few more of those fish. I don't know.
I'm gonna try and start implementing it.
Yes,
I've really
bro.
been thinking
Yes,
about
bro.
it lately.
And it gets better the bigger the glide, bro. It gets better the
Yes.
bigger the bait. The bigger the bait, like the more you 8 trap it.
8
Bro.
inches or more.
I wish I could upload my clips. All right, so when I went to Miami, these fish normally fish in Miami don't see glides bigger than like what you would say like 7 inches.
Yeah,
So
for
when you
sure.
bring some real big shit down there, like they go kind of feral for it, and it's not like they're trying to eat it, but they'll just come up to inspect it. And
Yeah.
I took my frenzy out the water, and I'm about to recast like you're saying, and then I just see this like it was a fat 4-pounder, like it was probably maybe like 24 inches, but it just had a fat body to it, just wide, and I see it coming cruising out. And then I go like I'm already like mid cast now, and then the frenzy hits the water again. It's 10 ounces, so it just boom, right, and I just see this thing shoot off, and I was like, damn, if I would have just eight trapped it again, and then I eight trapped it like 2 casts later, and I just see like a wolf pack of just 3 and 2-pounders just coming up, like, well, what the hell's going on? And then also another thing that's not talked about enough is feeding versus schooling following. Like following like to eat versus following to inspect or school. With like when it comes to bass fishing, especially if you get like a bass colored bait, I feel like sometimes they'll just come under and school it. Especially for me. I've had fish that like, especially with the frenzy, you guys have seen it. They'll just come up under and just school under it, and you're like, oh, like I got a follower. In reality, it's just like it just doesn't know what the hell this is. It's like uncanny
Yeah.
valley to it.
They're hanging
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, sometimes
yeah,
they just want to hang. Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like we used to see that a lot on the other river, the old local river by our crib.
Oh yeah.
The clear one, like you'd have, and like you said, Desmond School. I mean, we'd have groups of them, but they'd just be sitting under the bait, like you're sitting
Yeah,
there thinking that you're about to get a bite, and meanwhile they're just
yeah.
like,
Like they literally like look like they're like talking to it. Like, yo,
Yeah,
what
it's the
hood
new
you
kid on the
from?
block.
Like, what hood you from, nigga? I ain't never seen you around here.
Bro. And it gets frustrating. The bigger the bait too, it gets super frustrating because then the line blurs. The line blurs once it gets like past 9 inches. It no longer becomes like, oh, is that fish trying to eat it, or is it getting territorial, or is it schooling? Because then that territorial aspect comes up too. Once it gets like to a certain size, I've had fish that I've caught that I'm like, it definitely wasn't trying to eat that. It was probably just nearby, and I just happened to run it by a bed. Especially when I didn't know what a pre-spawn was at the time. Because all right, so unfortunately, guys, I'm learning things backwards. I was throwing a glide before I actually knew what I was doing. So I learned what a pre-spawn was last year. And I got on a crazy K9 bite, and I'm just like, yo, bro, I'm Jeffrey the King. I'm Jeff. I thought I was the guy, right? I thought I was the guy, and then I was explaining it to somebody. I was like, bro, I just put in like 20 fish on the bank, bro, just off the K9. And they were like, bro, what pond were you fishing? Oh, this one right here, bro. It's the pre-spawn right now. They're all betting, and I'm like, what that mean? And they're like, yeah, bro, you just ran it by a bed. That's probably why. And I was like, okay. The next day I went out, then I noticed it, and then ever since then, if I fish during like, I'll say probably like during like February to April, I just will be like, all right, I can kind of tell what's a bedding fish based off of where they actually eat the bait. If they hit it face first, okay, it might have been trying to get territory, or if it hits it side first, it's bedding. You know what I mean? Or if they like really swallow it, bro, yeah, it was trying to eat it.
You're getting education tonight, folks.
Yeah, you guys are getting $1 million worth of game right now, bro.
A lot. You didn't know
shit.
we were going to be giving away this level of sauce tonight, but here
Oh,
we are.
shit.
Here we are. So ask away. We may never.
Yo, somebody
divulge
asked you about the coal shed, Eric. That's all you, bro.
I don't know nothing. I don't even know what Berkeley is. I don't even.
The school? You talking about the
Yeah,
college?
yeah. You talking
College
UC
music?
Berkeley? That's where Aaron Rodgers went there. Yeah,
Deadass?
that's my dog. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. He sung at
That
Berkeley.
makes sense, actually. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Now knowing
Aaron
that he went
Rodgers.
to UC Berkeley, yeah,
No, no, no.
that makes
Listen,
sense.
no. The Cole Shad. Think about the Cole Shad. It's got this motion to it.
Mhm.
If you know anything about salty critters, specifically snook,
They love that little roll. They love that little roll.
they love it. The Cole Shad does that, and then terminal tackle holds up once again. So
Can you guys talk
Berkeley,
about
another
current?
W.
Can you guys talk about swim baits and current? Because I feel like this isn't talked about ever. How important it is
Mm,
to understand your waters when it comes to current. Because my first couple years throwing snook or swim baits for snook, I was throwing baits that I was like, all right, it's a slow wide glide, it's a big tall profile. Why is this not fishing right in this moving current? But then I take a smaller glide and I'm able to rip it past, and I'm just getting fish after fish. And I feel
yeah.
like not a lot of people don't understand that. Like that current matters
Yeah.
when you're taking baits out.
It's physics, man. You got to think like the taller the bait, the more resistance you have pushing up against it
The more drag.
with that current, the more drag. So it's going to make that bait go either way with you pulling against it. That's why the skinnier baits work a little bit better in
Mhm.
current, but
Mm.
it really depends on who is making the bait. Really depends on how the bait was made because there are there's a lot of swim baits out there that work better in current than others. I'll
Mhm.
say that. I'll say that.
Yes.
Not
Yes.
every bait is made for uh like saltwater
Yes.
currents or even freshwater rivers. Yeah, I mean there's some fucking serious current up
Yeah.
north and like yeah, I mean some baits is just it's just not ideal in those specific scenarios. But I've noticed specifically that like with current, you really gotta kind of use it to your advantage. You know what I mean? You
Even
gotta
the weight too, sink rates and everything, bro.
exactly, because that affects it with that current pushing it. It's not going to sink the same way it would sink if you're just throwing that in a lake and the key when you're fishing current is a natural presentation. You want that thing looking natural, like something just swaying down that's just a little disoriented, can't kind of get its bearings in the current, and is trying to, yeah, I mean, get away from something, an intricate bait fish, something like that. Like trying to mimic as natural of a presentation as possible, and it ties into what a lot of guys do down here in Florida with sweeping these inlets and
Yes.
jigs and things of that
Hmm.
nature. It's a very similar idea as that, like how you're trying to present the bait, but it's just a different technique and action. You know what I mean? You're not just steady reeling in paddle tail as it sweeps in the current. You got a bait that you can now control how
Interact
long
with
you keep it in the strike zone
exactly.
with a NOBN, you can only keep it in the strike zone for a certain amount of time. You got to keep that thing moving before it hits bottom or snags up. You want it. You know the whole point of that is that it's sweeping by a specific point. With a glide bait, you can manipulate it a bit more within that current to kind of keep it within a certain area. You know what I
And
mean?
sometimes it'll
And
just glide without you even touching it, just off that current. That
exactly.
yes.
That's something, and I wasn't going to talk about that, but you said it already. But
I'm sorry.
that
I'm sorry.
the secondary action that you get out of current. That's why I said earlier, it's like less is more. I think a lot of times when you're fishing and current, because if you know the bait that you're throwing, you can let that current do a lot of the work for you.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So that's a dime. That's a dime right there.
Yeah, man. Even like when it came down to when I first got back down here, I was trying to throw what was it? The 250, the depths 250.
Yeah.
I've had a couple recently in like the last maybe 3 or 4 years. I had one that was like an extra slow sink, one that was a stock, like it's like a medium sink, and then one that was like it was like a fine tuned, like it was like slow sink but not too slow. And that perfect medium for me was based off of salinity for me. So like that extra slow sink, the higher the
Yeah.
salinity, of course it floated, and then the bait just sucked. And I was like, okay, all right. Then I
Yeah.
take the fast sink out, but then let's say I'm fishing a pond that day or I'm fishing a freshwater river, then I'm like, okay, this thing is sinking too fast. Like I'm the wind is pushing me too fast. Like I need something a little bit slower. It's all about that too. Like I feel like especially with Florida guys or even like guys up on the Northeast as well. With
Hmm.
I know you guys get like the striper up there that get into those like the estuaries and whatnot.
Yeah.
That stuff matters too.
For sure. For sure.
Yo,
I will say with the style of fishing that we do particularly, I'll say I don't think the sink rate plays as big of a part. If we were dealing with deeper waters, I'd say
yeah,
it would be, but majority of the big fish that we're catching are in less than 5 feet of water.
yeah, yeah.
Real
I'm
shit.
in these weird places where like naturally because I'm land based, I got to go to these parts where maybe it might have like a super deep drop off and then it goes up
Yeah.
and then there's just mad
Yep.
trash under there because of course our spillways are dog water on the west coast,
Yeah.
so we got like mad shopping carts in ours, and you got to make sure you don't snag a shopping cart while you're trying to do your sweep with a glide or your
Yeah.
sweep with a flare or something like that, but
Yeah.
also so when it comes to even like age old question, does color matter? Everyone says, I feel like no. It's about like the overall like silhouette, in my opinion.
For
What
sure.
do you guys think?
I don't think it really makes
I don't
that
think so.
much of a difference,
I think
honestly.
if anything, it's just like I
If a
like
fish is gonna eat your bait, it's gonna eat your bait. It's not gonna not eat your bait because it's purple and not
Yeah,
white. You know
it
what
all
I'm
it all
saying? Like,
listen.
I feel
Are
like I've
there
gotten
certain
simpler.
listen, are there certain fishing scenarios that certain people could point to that would say that color matters?
Super clear water, maybe.
Sure. For
yeah.
me, all right, there's a few things that I like to do, right? Here's my game as far as color goes. First things first, this is really simple. It's going to sound really stupid, but it's true. If it looks good to me, it looks good to the fish.
Yeah,
If it
yeah,
looks good to me, it looks good to the fish. Your confidence in the bait is more
yes,
important than you think. And then the
yes.
little thing that I'll say, I didn't invent this. I've had a couple buddies talk to me about this over the years. Contrast. I like to contrast colors. So in a bass term, that would mean if I'm throwing a black jig, I'll throw a blue trailer. Instead of just black and blue throughout, I want two different contrasting colors. They represent unique individual parts of the bait. I
Yeah.
find that helps things stand out. Now, on the chop block, you'll notice what I catch that 40 on. The
Cold black,
blank.
cold
It
white.
was blank white with a black tail. Contrasting colors. I love that. It looked great to me. It was glowing in that dark tannic water. And I know that not only are they going to see that glow, but they're going to see that contrast with that black tail and that white body. So that's what I try to think about when I think about color. But you definitely don't want to overcomplicate it. Again, there is certain scenarios, a lot of pressured scenarios where, yeah, you might be able to get a couple extra bites on a certain little sneak color,
Hmm.
something like that. But
Or like an
overall,
ultra realistic color.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
just
like very
overall though,
yeah.
don't make it the top of your
No.
spectrum of what you're worried
No.
about. You know?
I feel like I've even oversimplified it at this point after like this last year. I'm even moving towards just darker colors or just like straight white. Like
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
bait
That's
that
it.
I
That's all you
yeah, that's
need.
it.
It's a
Just like
light color and a dark color.
yeah,
It's not
like
even about the color itself. It's like
yeah,
that
just
aspect. You need a
what it is.
silhouette. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Something to go up against something to make it stand out. And white does that in certain conditions, and a darker purple or black or whatever does that in certain conditions. And that's really the key of it. You know what I mean? Is just knowing what would work better for whatever scenario you're in with the lighting and watercolor and all of that shit. You know what I mean? But when people get all caught up on
Limited batches.
it has to be
Limited batch.
the Tarpon toothpaste blue. They won't eat it. But you know what? I ain't even gonna go there because I have been in a situation. I was out with Croy and we were tarpon fishing, and he was throwing that fucking purple haze, 5
Oh
inch,
yeah,
and this motherfucker had probably jumped about 5 tarpon before he was like, "Bro, I'm throwing." I think I was throwing a big white something. He's like, "Bro, tie the purple on."
bro. They love
I'm like,
purple.
"All
They
right, bro."
love
Now
purple, bro.
I got one bite on the white, but he had already jumped 5 tarpon at this point.
Hmm.
Tie on the fucking purple haze,
Hmm.
2 casts,
Bro, even
two casts.
with this
That's
bait
what
I
I'm
got right
saying though.
here,
It's never nothing in this game is universal.
Yep.
There's
nothing.
nothing that you can point to that you're like, yes, that matters. That doesn't matter. Period. It's
Yes,
not the case. That's what I
Nope.
love about fishing. You make the rules. Remember what
yes.
Mike Ecanelli said in our last video, right? They don't have rules, so why should you? I love that
Yeah,
quote
they're
from
literally
Mike.
Real
cannibals.
It's
shit.
Yeah,
true.
they are literally cannibals. We're trying to make up rules for a literal cannibalistic species, bro. Like
No,
these
literally.
lawless ass organisms, and we're like, oh, but yeah, but like this, bro. That thing would eat its cousin if it had the chance.
Straight up. Straight up.
like,
Bass colored baits get bit by bass very well. I'm
bro.
sure if you threw a snook pattern glide, they would fucking crush it.
I
I'm
tried that
positive.
once. I tried that once. I had a hinkle trout painted as a snook once, and I broke
That's
it, of
fucking
course.
hilarious.
All right, so like for those of you that don't know, I went through this weird phase of like just trying to piss everyone off in the fishing industry, and I was just doing shit like I like I had a Mayan cichlid painted hinkle. I was the first to do that, by the way. I want to go on record. I was the first to have a Mayan cichlid painted hinkle.
Oh,
Okay,
but here we
Yo,
go.
doesn't Skipper have one too?
I was the first one. Yes, I was the first. I was the first one. I, yeah. I'm not even gonna. I'm not gonna speak on that. I'm not gonna speak on that too
Here
much.
we go.
I won't speak on that too much. However, right when
That's funny.
back then, way back when though, I had a snook painted hinkle as well, and I was like, bro, this is gonna kill it. This is gonna kill it. And me being the idiot that I am, I was like, oh yeah, I primarily fish freshwater canals in these freshwater areas, basically sweetwater, right? And I had basically a beach painted snook hinkle, and I'm like, oh yeah, I don't understand why this isn't working. This bright gray and bright yellow painted snook hinkle. I'm like, oh, I just don't get it. And like today, if I were to redo it, I'd probably get like a dark, like that, almost like that dark tannic brown colored bait.
Mm,
And I feel like I have more confidence in that now too. Like my confidence bait when I was younger, when I first started swim bait fishing, was bright pink because I needed to
mm.
see what the
Pink
bait was
gets
doing.
bit. Pink gets
It
yo.
gets bit.
Tell him about a sea money, Eric.
Hmm?
Pink gets bit.
Tell him about sea money.
I don't know nothing about nothing.
You know. He's out. No, 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 no.
Bro, listen.
Yo, Des. What's your opinion on the chop block versus the shine glide?
Okay. All right.
Wait,
Yeah. Because yes, this is actually a great topic. These are two. This is like Little Caesars versus Pizza Hut. All right. These are the two humble greats. They never forgot where they came from. Right. However, my beef with the Shine Glide right now is I'm not paying $42 for that. Back when it was $9,
42
$42.99.
for what?
Now
For a
listen,
single hook?
for the no, you're talking about the soft Shine Glide.
The soft shine,
Okay.
not
Okay.
the regular shine glide.
All right, I'm gonna keep it a bean, right? I feel like again, the people that aren't fishing are the ones that are in charge of marketing, and it shows because the
Yeah.
9 inch soft shine glide, I'm not gonna lie, it's got a very good glide on it when you properly when you're properly fishing it, and you just like do it wide
Mm-hmm.
glides, but then the 7 inch version is like the worst swim of all time.
Mm.
So the marketing I don't understand why they released the 7-inch version first when it swam like garbage, but this 9-inch version swims like a dream. But then the chop block, I feel like the chop block, it's just consistent, and it's also like a quarter of the price. How much does a chop block? Like $10,
30
10, 12?
bucks, I think.
I think the 10
Okay,
inch is
so-
like
10 inch is
30.
what?
Yeah.
So you get it for like
Speakers.
I think 75% of what you would pay for a soft shine glide, the 9-inch version. And the nine. Okay, so here's another difference. The 9-inch version for the soft shine glide is 5 ounces, 5.5, I think.
That thing's 5 ounces.
5.5 ounces.
5-ounce soft bait. That's crazy.
It's kind of ridiculous, but it's not.
That's
It's not. Once you get into those bigger, like those bigger soft baits, though, they get heavy because there's the Tyrant is 6 ounces. The Ultra Carp from Signal, it's like I think it's like a 12-inch bait. It's 30 ounces.
Oh yeah. That thing's a decoy.
Yeah, that thing is insane.
That's
like-
a decoy.
I feel like the chop block and the soft shine glide, it's like two separate scenarios for me. I would fish the chop block again. Like if I'm pitching it into mangroves, I'm not gonna be pissed off if I break off, or like if I'm like flinging it deep in there, because I flung the Tyrant deep into some mangroves last week, and I flung it like 20 feet into the mangroves, and I was like, well, I swear to God, if I lose this, I'm gonna have a bad day. But then if I lost the chop block, I'm like, all right, I'll try and get it out. But like if I can't get it out, no harm, no foul. We'll get
Right.
Yeah.
It's like you
We just-
lose you lose a DoorDash delivery order.
I was just about to say, I
instead
just
of
want
half a
DoorDash.
paycheck, you know? It's
Exactly.
really it's we're just not talking about the same stakes here. And that's what's nice
Exactly.
about those affordable glides, especially when
Yes.
you're fishing in the salt and in the mangroves and all that.
Yes.
Hey, what'd you ask me about pink? I was walking back inside.
Oh yeah, C Money Peak.
Sea Money.
What about sea money?
The pink flute.
Oh, man.
Pink fluke, bro. A pink
Bro.
fluke is
I mean,
generational.
it's sea money, bass fishing Jersey. Eric the
Yeah.
intern. I used to be a pink Senko connoisseur.
The pink Senko.
A pink, yes, during the
Listen.
spawn, a pink floating worm, a pink Senko. Listen,
Yeah.
the color pink, it activates them. I don't know how else to explain it. It just makes them mad. You know, it's funny you bring up the pink fluke too. Kai, remember that fluke? That snook I caught at Shell Key in
Yeah.
2021.
Yep.
Before we even really knew what we were doing, it was like 34-incher, I think it was at the time.
Yep.
I caught
you
it
talking
at
about at
25
night?
No, a 2,500. No, this was during the
Broad day. Broad
Okay,
day.
okay.
around Christmas time. The water was gin clear, and I was throwing a 2,500 spinning reel and a 7-foot medium Veritas bass rod with 25-pound leader, trying to catch redfish, and I was throwing a pink fluke, and I on a flat. Remember, I was throwing around mullet. And on
Yep.
a random
Yep.
flat, I hooked a 34-inch snook on a pink fluke in that ultra clear water. So I don't know. There is something to that color. They
Yeah.
I don't know what it
Telling
is.
I forget what they were saying about the fish's vision spectrum, and like pink and red, I think, are the two that pop up the brightest to them.
Mhm.
Like reds and pinks and things of that nature, oranges, shit like that.
Yeah, because the Gantero with the orange bottom, it's like buffalo wings to a fat man, man.
That
It's like
Gantero is
buffalo.
legendary. That's a
Yeah.
legendary bait.
Yeah, I think more respect needs to be put on it. Honestly, I feel like not enough
For
respect is put on the
50
Gantero.
bucks.
For
That shit is
50 bucks,
legendary,
You
but-
can get one of the best gill glides of all time, and then you can smash it against the wall, and it won't break. I sent one at Mock Jesus one time, and it boom, and then it came back
Yep.
perfectly fine. But then
did you see that one that I found after almost 2 years
Yes.
floating in the river?
Kai, I forgot
and
that
it's
that
fine,
happened.
and it was fine.
Bro, it was fine. It's fine. Still,
And it was fine. It was
today.
perfectly
it
fine.
It actually
It's got
arguably
some
looks
mojo.
better.
It's
looks
got some
better
mojo
now
to
than
it.
It did new. It
That's
looks
what
like
my
an
TK,
injured
bro.
bluegill.
My TK, it's got like the kid that dove for it. He dove in this pond that we have back here that's full of like pesticides and stuff like that. It's got
Yeah.
like this nice green sheen to it now, and it's got that purple hit. And I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I might need to get that back, bro. Be honest, like the hardware is done for, but like,
Yeah. What
I
up,
mean,
Eli?
Eli, shout out to
Mr. Eli
Eli.
Robinson.
Yeah,
Good
shout out
boy.
to the
And
chat
I
in
meant to
general. Like
call
I
you
said, you
back, bro.
guys have
My
been
bad.
great tonight. A lot of great conversation. Start some more up. We're here in the back half of the pod at this point. We got a nice viewership tonight. I've been enjoying seeing all the names pop up. So if you got anything else to say, anything else you want us to say, just let us know. Throw it in the
Are we on
chat.
Instagram?
Yeah, we are on
Yeah.
Instagram.
Okay.
Mhm.
I haven't looked
Yeah,
at the
man.
Instagram one time though. The Instagram is weird because it
It
tells
won't show
everyone
it
we're
on.
live and
Yeah,
then tells no one.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
it
Yeah, it's not popping up right now.
drops off hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's it
Feeling
called?
good,
Yeah,
Eli, man. Feeling good. All the boys are grinding. We're all working hard. Johnny's out in the field right now. For those that are missing Mr. Flogel tonight, we do as well, but it's for a good reason. It's for a good reason. He's with the legend Bill Wetzel, starting a
front of the
Surf
pod.
Rats Ball Striper tournament. So Johnny is now also competing in his own online tournament here.
Woo.
Surf Rats Ball Striper tournament. You got Johnny competing against a bunch of Striper OGs out
Yeah,
there
don't
on
we
the
have an
rocks.
online tournament going on? Don't we
We
have an
do.
online?
We do. Listen, I know you've seen it. We've been promoting it. We've been frog fishing. Scum Frog Tourney Tournament is going on all this month. Here's all I got to say about it, right? I like these frog tournaments because obviously you got to fish a frog. You got to
Everybody can
go
participate.
and you got to buy that specific Scum Frog in the kit. The link is in our Instagram bio, okay? The link is still right there. It's only $20, by the way. So it's like a freaking cup of coffee in 2026. But regardless, listen, I like the fact that it gets you throwing a frog because it reminds you that fishing a frog is one of the most fun ways to catch a bass. I mean, period. Just there's no debate there. So it's that aspect of it, plus the fact that it'll make you throw that frog in areas that maybe you didn't think that you'd be able to throw it and get a bite. But that's the thing about a frog. It'll call out those big females regardless of where you throw it. I know Kai's got experience. He did a shoot one time with Scum Frog, went out to the river, throwing that thing around laydowns, like just real river, no pads, duckweed, nothing like that. Catching big ones. So June 1st through June 30th, go frog fish. I'm up north right now. When I get back, I'm gonna compete in the back half of the month, so you can compete against us as well. $20. $20. Link is in our bio. Like I said, you could sign up whenever too. So if you want to sign up on the last day of the tournament and then you go catch a 12 and win the whole thing, you could do that. You could do that.
The craziest part is that's not even unplausible. That's completely plausible for somebody to catch a 12 on a frog on the last day, just because of how well rounded the frog actually is. Literally, there's not a single place in the world where you can't catch a frogfish. You can, like,
That's
everywhere,
true.
every single place.
It is
in-
definitely a countrywide for sure. Like I don't know one place they wouldn't eat a frog. Really, they I mean, they eat frogs everywhere. You're not even imitating a frog half the freaking time. You're just imitating something on the surface that's about to get smoked. That's how I
You're
look
just
at it.
imitating chicken wings, man. You're just imitating
That's
barbecue
it.
chicken.
It's just like the koiki ball, like what are we imitating? We're just playing to their lateral line. We're playing to their instinct.
Exactly.
Obviously sometimes, yeah, they think it's a frog, but sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're just blasting something on the surface.
Yeah. Nah, man. I'm calling you right now. This year, there will be a snook on a frog. There will be a snook.
Oh, Eric's on a mission already.
And not in a pond, in its natural habitat, not in a pond. We're not.
And we got a shout out. A couple boys did that though, right? Did they do that?
Yeah. Some I forget their names. Some Asian kids. You know them, Des? You seen that video?
No.
Oh, dude, there's a super viral video of these kids catching like a 37-inch snook on a white frog in like a canoe, skipping it in the mangroves, like blew up on it.
Yeah, that's kind of tough, actually. You're gonna have to send me.
I
You
gotta
have to see
find
that.
that video.
That's super. I mean, that's incredibly tough. I love hearing that. And yeah, like I know it's not an original concept. It's just ever since we were
It's
given
just
these
badass, though.
frogs, we were given these frogs earlier in the month, and I had to step away from it because I'm like, okay, I'm not catching anything. I gotta catch some bass, and make some entries for this tournament. But just the idea of skipping it into those groves, hearing that snook pop, and then giving them a good old frog hook set sounds very exciting to me. And then seeing whatever would happen after that, tickles my interest a little bit. Yeah, but that'll have to wait. I'm now up north again. Another little Uncle Larry's northern swing. We got half north, half south right now. Kai's holding it down
Wait,
in
so
the
is this the
southwest.
Jeep's? Is this the Jeep's final voyage?
Oh no! So all right. So I think people misunderstood slightly. I'm here for work, another trip. The Jeep thing, that's going to be late August, early
Okay.
September. But
Okay.
yes, so the Jeep is currently at my boy Corey. Shout out to Corey. It's at his house right now. It's basically like you ever seen Pimp My Ride back in the day, MTV? It's like just giving it to Corey, basically telling him, hey, everything that's wrong, let's get it right, because we're 2,000 miles away from 350. And yeah,
Lord.
I could rent a car for this journey. I could fly up there. I could do all these things.
No.
Or I could hit 350 in the old JGC, head up 75 north all the way to the UP with my kayak and catch salmonoids all fall. So I just think I might do that for the boys, for the brand. Hopefully we can get groups up there. Listen, Uncle Larry's 2/3 of the group visited the UP back in March. I've been there twice now in the past year. I was there. Funny enough, Desmond, I was there to film the inaugural Chop Block shoot with Mike. And then I went back again with the boys later on in the cold. And both times I've just been, I mean, listen, the bottom line is I look around and I'm like, okay, this needs a month. This needs 2 months of my time, dedicate.
I do like the
fish
setting
hard,
of the UP. The UP looks so
learn.
sick in pictures, bro.
Oh, and
It looks like a Star Wars set.
To me, what?
Yeah.
It's a dying thing in this world, unfortunately. Like, one of the great things about social media is it's brought so many people the joy of fishing and the outdoors, right? That's great. Well, the only problem is now there's less and less places where you feel like you're fishing untapped resources,
Yeah,
or
it's
fish
not
that
intimate
just
anymore.
haven't seen baits. Everyone strives for that. I when I go out there, that's what I strive for more than anything, is to find fish, find my own bites, find things that other people aren't finding, uncovering mysteries. I love that. That's what it's all about. And there's so few places left that you can truly do that. And I feel like up there you can do that. There's just not, per capita, there's just not that many people that are fishing a lot of this sneakier stuff. Like, yeah, you got guys launching, going out on the Great Lakes and fishing, trolling lake trout or catching smallmouth, but a lot of the sneakier, maybe Uncle Larry's-esque stuff that I think about when I think about that place, I don't think is really being done. So hopefully we can accomplish that here in the fall. I got some good ideas.
I feel like it's one of the last places, like for those of the viewers that are like spiritual. I feel like it's like one of the last few places where you can actually feel connection to like a higher power. It's like there's no light pollution, there's no like noise pollution. It's just you and whatever you believe in. If you believe in God, if you believe in whoever, right? It's one of the last few places where you can actually sit down and like take in the beauty of everything that was created.
Yeah.
Like literally everything. I felt like that in the Keys the first time I went down there. When I went night fishing in the Keys, it was the first time I've ever seen like a full night where no light pollution, like it's just pitch black and I could see all the stars. It almost made me tear up if I wasn't like, fighting fish. If it almost made me tear up. I was like, bro, this is so beautiful. Or like the one time I went to Tennessee, I was like, I'm like driving up the mountains, it's untapped. You don't see any telephone lines, no cables, no Wi-Fi towers, no nothing. No Amazon package machines. It's just you and the mountain and then this creek. And I feel like the Upper Peninsula is one of those things based off of what I've seen. Um, it's insane. I feel like we need to set some sort of like precedent where we can protect places like that as much as possible, more than we already are, and set some type of gatekeeping too.
Yeah, if only the powers that be cared as much as we did. about these
No.
places.
No.
Yeah.
They only care about insider trading and hot Cheetos and lying.
But that's a conversation for another day.
Another day.
How we doing out there, man? Hey, hour and a half in, strong viewership throughout. Again, I can't thank the boys enough. I know we don't even promote this podcast, really, this show, whatever you want to call it. We throw up something on the Instagram story at the last second, but I know it ain't 1,000 people in here, right? But just to see the consistent names hanging with us week after week means a lot. It really does. I don't have anything else in particular to talk about tonight. If you guys have any topics, or if the chat again, if you guys want to talk about something, I'll sit here and yap away. But yeah, I'm feeling good. We're like I said, another northern stretch coming. Maybe more gold creatures of gold and orange shades in the near future. Maybe species of multiple stripes. Not just one stripe, but multiple stripes. There might be a few of those. Maybe a few flat fish that are flat, fish that are long, wide, and flat. If you can picture that, almost like a doormat. You know what I'm talking about? There might be some of those in the mix. And then maybe some toothy critters as well. Maybe I'll get out there with the one they call decam. Maybe. I don't know if I should really subject myself to that, but maybe I will.
Oh my gosh. Yo, he was relatively tame and chill when he was on the pod.
Oh no, we love
Like
decam. We just rip on it. I mean, it's just decam. That's just what it is. Yeah, we love that. Shout out David.
Yeah, his Instagram posts paint a different picture of who David actually is.
Yeah, 'cause I did like a brief search over his social media. And I was like, huh, interesting. And then I met him on the pod. I was like, damn, all right, sick.
Yeah.
Cool.
Two different people. Instagram David Cam and real David Cam.
Yeah.
Yo, Kyle, Landon said you misidentified that shark.
Well, Landon, last time I checked, black tips didn't come into fresh water, so I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
And hey,
Was that a black tip?
Do black tips come into fresh water?
To me, it really wasn't the color or anything. It was the build of it.
Yeah.
Like that thing looked like a bull shark. Like that thing had the Aki
you can tell by the snout. Black tips have a sharper snout.
Yes. Yeah.
He said the bull sharks. Oh wow, Landon countering, bro.
Wow, that's crazy. I don't know, man. I caught a black tip. That didn't look like a black tip. I don't know.
Hey man, a shark is a shark. A shark is a shark to me. I mean, a shark is a shark, bro. I'm still trying to get.
Dan said they all got teeth.
I'm still trying to get my first shark on a glide. I have a goal for this summer where I want to get one off the beach. I want to get one off the beaches on like a 250 or like, I have a bait coming in from a certain brand that makes mothers, and I'm hoping to get some type of cool fish off the beaches, and I'm hoping that it's a shark. I think that would be so sick.
Bro, hoping for a shark. That's crazy.
I'm itching.
Good luck to you, bro.
I'm itching.
Damn, black tip on the fly is wild.
Bro, there's a guy, I'll tell you guys about it, post pod. There's a guy that I actually want to get on here who specializes in, I think it's thresher sharks on the fly or mako sharks on the fly.
Wow.
It's kind of insane.
It's
I
very insane.
I watched the movie on him. He has a movie that's like that, I think it's on like Blu-ray or some shit like that. I watched a couple years back. It's insane. It's ridiculous. But
sharks are fucking predatory creatures, man. I mean, I people don't, obviously it's not like a super common thing to target them on lures, but if you freaking come across one and you throw something in front of its face, 9 times out of 10.
It's like the bowfin of the saltwater world. It's like the bowfin of the saltwater world, bro. Like just underappreciated, but just an amazing fighting fish.
Real shit. I just lost a 9-inch bullshit at one of them motherfuckers, man. God damn bitch. It was so dumb too. It's like, how you see like a fucking, like some shit you shouldn't catch, like a
Yeah.
bowfin or a gar
Yeah.
or something. It's like I have no business getting myself in this predicament.
Yeah.
I just seen a 3-footer just swimming by my kayak. I'm like, it's been a slow day. Fuck it. Sure enough.
Anytime I've run into a gar with treble hook baits, it's always premeditated that I throw it. I'm like, why not? Why not? And I'll
Those
just
are
throw a glide at it.
some of come to think of it, that's one of the funniest moments in fishing, and it happens to all of us where you're having a shitty day and a fish swims by you. It's always like you see a fish that if you throw at it and it bites in one way or another, it's gonna ruin your day even
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah.
But you're like, I just want to feel
I just want to feel
something.
the tug.
I just want to
feel the tug.
feel.
So
So you throw the glide at and all of a sudden you have a 3-foot bull.
That used
swimming
to
with
be me
your
with Jack
fucking
Creval's.
$190 glide bait in his mouth. Like that
Bro,
was
that
smart.
used to be
That
me
was
with
fun.
Jack Creval's, bro. I used to cast at him from like there's a canal that we have in Florida, and the canal is like I want to say like 20 feet off the bank. It's there's 20 feet below the bank. So you gotta like it is very steep too. You like so there was one time I was just throwing a paddle tail, it was like a 5-inch paddle tail, and I see a school of jacks, and I'm like, this shit's either about to make me twist or sprain my ankle. But like I haven't gotten any action all day. I'm gonna throw it at it. Runs and I slip all the way down and I bust my ass trying to get this jack, and it was like an 8-pound jack. But
Damn.
like
Damn. That's how it be sometimes, though. Real shit.
just to feel something. And I was fishing like an Abu Black Max at the time. And which by the way, for those of you that are trying to get into swim baiting, you can definitely throw a swim bait on an Abu Black Max. It's very doable. Those things are broomsticks of like Walmart, like the Walmart setup. You can absolutely throw like a Shine Glide or the Chop Block or the Nessie. You can absolutely do it. So
Good
for
to
those of
know.
you that want to get into it, by all means, go to
Good to
Walmart.
know. Low budget entry. We always like that. Like I said, man, listen, never forget, viewers of
Like
Uncle
my friend
Larry's.
Malcolm said, by any means necessary.
Before Uncle Larry's was a thing,
Yes,
I was
sir.
using a rod that my buddy found for me in the dumpster. And I was catching.
By any means.
By any means necessary.
Oh, Landon. We got a lot of poonage planned, Landon. I got a lot of poonage.
More poonage than ever before on the page
Yeah.
now. You know, we got a little Uncle Larry's little slight location change. A little slight, nothing crazy, just a little slight.
That's all it
Do
takes.
something. It's gonna do something for the poonage. It's gonna do something
Touching
for
a
the
lot of
poonage. I'm
poon this summer.
excited.
Yeah.
You're gonna be touching a lot
I'm
of
going
poon.
to experiment this weekend. I got a buddy coming, a fly fishing guy. I need him to come and show me what the real fucking way to catch these goddamn tarpon is. Not
Is
that
this-
I'm ever gonna pick up a fly rod anytime soon, but I'm just tired of not seeing these fish with a fucking hook in their mouth. Yeah,
Kai, I don't know, man. I feel like this is it. This is the beginning of the end. The next evolution.
I'm about to be a fly guy.
Hey, man. Hey, I literally, ladies and gentlemen, I could see it right now. I come back, Kai and I are just sitting out back, hanging out. He's like, "Bro, I don't know. I think I gotta get a rod. I gotta get a rod." He's like,
my
"You
thing with the fly rod is I can't see myself doing that shit from a kayak. You'd have to go the whole nine and get a fucking skiff or ginu or something like that, and like really be able to do that shit comfortably because there's just so many different aspects involved that you got to keep
And
in
your
mind
ego
when doing
shoots
that
through the
shit,
roof.
man.
Your ego
Oh my
shoots through the
God.
roof as soon as you touch
Oh, imagine Kai's
bro,
ego as
yeah.
a fly
Can you
guy.
imagine first the fly rod, then the beaver tail skiff.
it. Oh my
Then-
God.
Then I'm wearing
Yep, and
you
then he
get
gonna make a
Patagonia,
and then he gonna make
Columbia,
on Instagram. He gonna make a comment
hedge
saying I was
fund,
doing it all wrong. I was doing
then
it all
the hedge
wrong
fund,
all along. I
then
never.
the
I
insider
feel-
trading.
on the fly, does it even count? You can fish it like a man.
We're gonna have Kai with a hedge fund in the next year.
Kai gonna have a boyfriend soon.
Touch a fly in June.
Oh my! I feel sorry for the fly guys, man. Is this what it means to be a fly guy?
Crucified, bro.
Is
The
this
craziest
what it
part is
means?
the craziest part is every single swim bait guy I know in Tampa is also a fly guy. I can name 3 guys just off the top of my
Very
head that are
true.
diehard fly guys, but they're also diehard swim bait guys. But nothing in between.
I think that
Nothing in between.
the I don't want to say the word. I think the damn. What word do I use?
We're not a politically correct podcast.
I, I'm trying. I'm trying.
I just find, I
I
find it
think
interesting.
the I ain't gonna say it. I ain't gonna say it.
I
these
just find it
guys,
interesting how in the
they have a
community
culture
it's
about
like
them.
if you fish this certain way, then you must also like the same sex.
Yes.
It's like it's crazy that is
Yeah.
synonymous with an entire community just
Yeah.
for fishing. I feel listen,
It's
I'm
because of the
sorry.
way that they've
They
like they turned it
propositioned
into
themselves.
they
It's the way they've
propositioned
positioned
themselves,
You
themselves.
but
did
they
it to
turned
yourself.
it
You
into
did
Did it
it
to
this
to
yourself.
yourself.
cult. They've turned it into this cult where it's like this elitist mindset of just like, yeah, no, everything I do needs to be expensive. And
Yes.
if it's not on the fly, it wasn't a challenge. You didn't do anything spectacular. You caught it on a fucking children's rod, pick up a fly rod. Like it's like that type of mind. And I guess we do it sometimes with like the live bait guys and shit like that. You know what I mean, to an extent. But a fly culture within itself, like the best way I can describe it, it reminds me of like the people from the Hunger Games.
Yes.
It's like that's what I think of when I think
They're
of
District 1. They're District
fly
1.
Yeah. Factions within factions. Like even after they're free, it's still some type of like split, bro. And that's with every single hobby too. Like I remember working at watches, bro. Like I showed one time a Frank Mueller to a guy that apparently only wore APs. Who do you think I am? Bro, this is a $20,000 watch. I'm trying to pay my rent. Just buy it, please. And he's like, "Oh no, bro, I don't wear APs. I wear Frank Mueller's." Then you go to cars. You'll see a guy that likes Ferrari but doesn't like Aston or doesn't like Lambo or something like that. Or even in fly fishing, there are guys that are like brand like they live and die by one brand, whether it's Van Staal, uh, Orvis.
Oh yeah,
Like
the interfighting in the fly community
yes,
is hilarious.
yes,
Like one of the first ones I think I came across was I don't really understand why they talk shit about it, but apparently like using dry flies is like
yeah,
frowned upon
yeah,
or gay or I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get
yeah.
it. Like what's the difference? Why? Because
They
it's
have big bait factions within fly fishing, which is already like a smaller bait type. Yeah, yeah,
I was at a bar in upstate New York one time on a film shoot, and it was a fly shoot, and there was 2 fly guys at the bar, and these are guys that are kind of like within the community a little bit, like in
yeah.
the industry because they're in the shoot, and
yeah.
it was literally an hour of them being jaded and disgruntled and talking about like talk within the community, talking about like the fly culture and like, well, this guy it was that for an hour straight. It was insane.
Yeah.
It was worse than the striper guys. I didn't even know it could get worse than the striper guys. Actually, they compete. They
Yeah.
compete back and forth for being the worst with
Oh,
that.
bro, you have no.
What about the striper fly guy?
Oh, oh,
Nah, bro. It just gets bad the deeper you go into any community. Because even swim bait guys, bro, the biggest like basement dweller is gonna tell you why this wood carving 3-piece crank is nowhere near or is so worth the $2,000, but you shouldn't buy a freaking DRT TK. But then that DRT TK guy is gonna tell you why you shouldn't buy a chop block or a shine glide, and then the shine glide guy is gonna tell you why you shouldn't buy depths. Like, bro, it's just all inner fighting. And then there's obviously all the bait makers are all friends. They're sitting at the big round table in the big conspiracy saying, "Yes, our plan worked. Yes, our plan worked."
Now next year, we're all going to make fuzzball amoebas. Yes,
Listen,
yes,
we'll
yes.
make a glide. We'll make a glide. That's the best saltwater glide in the market.
We'll call it the
market it for
salt
bass.
block.
And then next year, we'll come out with a glide that's the exact same thing, but
But
sell
we'll
it to
call
the
it the
salt
pro.
guys.
We'll call it the pro, and then make it $50. Yeah, yeah. No, trust me. If you can't tell, I'm very upset about the Shine Glide price. I feel it's like if Little Caesars got like an extra bump in prices. You're still Little Caesars at the end
They
of the day.
did. They did. They
Little
fucking
Caesars?
did. Yeah, man.
Yep,
Nah,
no more hot and ready $5.
damn.
Yep, that shit like $6.99 now.
Yeah, we gotta burn some type of like legislation building at this point. I feel like that's I can't say that.
Here goes Dez inciting political violence again.
Hey, man. I can't say I ain't been saying it since 2021. Shit.
No, you can't.
I, I won't say
Shit.
I won't incite anymore, but just know this will be televised because how dare you raise the rate on the it's supposed to be our day one pizza, bro. Our
Yeah.
day one pizza.
No,
It's
that's
like
real
a
shit.
Subway
I seen
$5 foot long.
I seen an Instagram story. Someone was talking about how that little man, that little Caesars man, they put him up there on the screen. He was there for you. He was there for you when damn near no one else was. And I thought about it's fun. I never got involved in the Caesars. I have my own $5 versions of things to eat during the Riverview days. But Kai and Johnny, on the other hand, they were Caesars connoisseurs. So I thought about them when I saw that because they, man, go get a Batman calzone.
Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all, boy, Little Caesars got me through some time, nigga.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
stretch a Little Caesars pie for 3 days.
Yes. Or Wendy's 4 for
Y'all
4.
niggas, y'all ain't been
Or
there.
you
Y'all
you
ain't been
you
there.
ain't never had to get a Wendy's 4 for 4 and split it for or for lunch and dinner. You want to talk about trench
Nigga,
warfare?
why is your Little Caesars hot and ready in the fridge for 3 days?
And it gets better. It gets better the more it's in there.
Look there. I be adding shredded cheese and shit. Throw some Italian seasoning on that bitch.
By the
Nigga,
third day, it's not even Little Caesars
look.
no more.
Look, we got Di Lorenzo's right here. It's okay. We gonna make it shake. We gonna make
Bro.
it shake.
Or like you go to the hood spot.
Two slices per meal, NMK. You know. And then
Eli said that's a
look,
felony. three days Caesars is a
two
felony.
slices per meal. I ain't gotta eat that much. I only weigh 150
You ain't 150?
on the dot.
Damn,
On
bro.
the dot.
I wish
On the dot.
bro. I wish, bro.
On the
Boy.
dot.
All right, I'm not gonna lie to you. Another reason I'm like torn on the paddleboard is because I be kind of sinking on it. Whenever I move, I'm like, oh damn. I'm like damn near in the water. I'm like, damn. All right, hold on. I gotta
Nah,
So he
sit.
said straight up, I'd be
Dez, we
singing.
gotta get you a crescent, Dez. We gotta get you a crescent, man.
I tried to stand up on it earlier, and I was in probably like I think maybe half a foot of water. I'm like, damn, I'm gonna bust my ass right now. And in my mind, I was like, all right, I'm about to buy this boat board. I see one for $500. I'm gonna get it. It should be stable. I'm gonna be able to skip into anything. And I'm glad I didn't because I would have been a lot of money wasted because I would have been too scared to stand up on it.
That paddleboard shit is. I mean, I got respect for it, boy.
Oh yeah.
That's a whole different grind, man. That's a whole different grind. And I've been doing the kayak shit for a minute. That shit is different.
Now what I do like about it is how we were able to just drop in, like we were just able to just carry the board just over the head.
Yeah.
throw it in.
Yeah.
That was cool. I did like
That's
that.
the
'Cause-
nicest aspect of it, dude. That's the pain in the ass with the kayak shit. Is like, gotta be able to transport it. Gotta be able to
Yeah.
store it. Gotta be able to fucking get it to the water. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta be mindful of where you launch and all of this shit.
Oh,
Like,
hold on. Somebody said it's either your last 5 in your tank. No, no, no. I'm gonna give you a hack for Eli. Okay. I'm gonna give you a hack. All right. And Wawa, all you need is $1, and it'll charge the rest, and you just pay that back later. You all you need is $1. You can
that is
have
true. That
all you
is
need is
true.
$1.
It
See,
don't hit your account for 2 business days, I think. So you got 2 business
yeah.
days to find that money, or your shit gonna be negative.
Hey man, you could find and you could find some money. Like that's the thing. Like just like Croy, when we're out in the Everglades and the boats broke down, Croy just turns to me and he goes, "I found gas." And I go, "Where?" And he goes, "I don't know." But he found it. So you could find money. Listen, there's
You know
everything,
what's crazy
resources
too?
are out there.
You were talking
Resources are out
earlier.
there.
You were talking earlier about Alice in Chains and like how like the lyrics and everything apply. Like it clicked later on in life, and
Yeah.
I felt that way about Clips. I
Oh
didn't. I
yeah.
didn't. I didn't really. I wasn't like a big fan of Clips and like Pharrell and everything like that up until probably once I hit 18, and then I became an adult and I like started experiencing like adult life. Then I was like, damn. Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on.
Yeah. No,
Dude,
you
the
you
first
gotta experience some shit to be able to appreciate that music.
Yeah.
no,
You
it's
gotta have
crazy
some
where
life
they're at
experience.
now. And then where they're at
Yes,
now with it, that new album they came out with I remember we were driving
bro.
back from where was it? The UP. We were driving back from the UP and I was driving and at one point Johnny turns to me, he goes, "Are you all right?" I had a tear in my eye. It was the
Yes.
first song off the new Clips album. They
Yes.
they
Wow.
they rapped something where
Birds
I
don't
started
sing.
crying. They were talking about their
Yes.
parents. It was like, man, so yeah,
Mhm.
shout out to Clips. It ain't all about cocaine, just mostly.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Allegedly.
All allegedly. All allegedly. Well, it's been a phenomenal pod tonight, boys. I've been enjoying hanging. We can hang a little more. If there's anything else in the chat, now's your chance. If you want to ask me, about the chop block and how I sleep with it under my pillow at night, please just ask me now because I ain't never talking
Allegedly.
about this again. All right. I'm never
Allegedly.
admitting how much I love this bait again. I have a borderline sexual relationship with a bait, with this bait, the chop block. So ask me now. Forever hold your peace. I'll never talk about this again. Never.
Yo, Eric was really the first one on the chop block too. I'm telling you, he was the first one.
He stood his ground
He was
too.
the
He stood
first
his ground
one.
too. He's been standing his ground on it, which
Real
I fuck
shit.
with. I fuck with, bro.
Real
I
shit.
do that with like other things in life, and then people were like, "Nah, bro," and it's not. You're never wrong. Sometimes you're just early.
Yeah. Yep.
I I
Yep.
say that a
Yay.
lot of times. I say that a lot of times about a lot of things. Like I remember people 2 years ago used to shit on the dice baits and like the koiki, bro. They're
Yeah.
it's just the stupidest thing ever. And not
Yeah.
every single trending topic has been a dice or a tentacle.
Yeah. We've both caught our biggest snook now on the chop block, the 10-inch chop block. Literally. Like both fucking 25 plus pound fish.
Mhm.
Crazy.
Yeah,
I wish we had video of yours, Kai. I wish I could have
Oh
lived
my
that moment with
God,
you.
man. Oh my God. It wasn't nearly as explosive as yours. Mine didn't even really like come up and do any crazy head shakes. It kind of did. Remember that one you lost? The giant one on the metro, like it kind of half came up, but his head didn't even fully really
when
come
they
out
get
of the
that heavy,
water.
it's so satisfying. It's like kind of nerve wracking though, because then once you see it, like kind of like it's almost like a whale, like breaching. And it's like, oh damn, I done hooked Gina.
Hey, someone said Lake Erie smallmouth looking for sleeper small baits. Man, I want to give you a rec that's not the koiki.
Hatch match baits. They make a goby.
Oh yeah,
It's
that
on
thing's cool.
that thing's very. It's like a
That
wedge
thing's
tail
cool.
goby.
Man, Great Lakes Finesse makes a lot of good stuff. I was fishing around Fish Finesser. Shout out to David. He had a lot of their stuff. That stuff's all great. I'll tell you this, man. Go check out a little York Nugget.
Yes.
York brand Nugget mini glide. Maybe a throwback mini, a Metro mini. I would love to see. I mean, I bet the Smallies pummel those mini glides. That'd be fun.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Or if you want to get something more all around, you can get a mystery tackle box. I got some smally stuff that I came in my mystery tackle box. We called it the organism.
The organism.
Yes. we got the spider grub. I'm not gonna lie. I'm taking the spider grub with me to an island. And I'd probably live forever if I had the spider grub.
Landon, are you talking bass up in the Carolinas? I mean, if you're fishing Highland reservoirs and stuff like that, bro. Listen, I'll tell everyone this.
I think he was talking like
this. If you're fishing bass, if you're fishing in lakes, if you're fishing for bass in lakes, you should make an effort and go try that stupid dice thing out. I'm telling you. Go. I've heard enough. Listen, I'm around a lot of guys. I'm around a lot of, that sounded weird. I'm around a lot of anglers, right, in the sport. Around a lot of top anglers. I hear a lot of chatter as well. I've heard enough. I've heard enough about that dice lore, bro.
I'm convinced.
I'm not doing it myself as of now. We're on a different type of time. If I was still a very active, like I'm launching at lakes and I'm bass fishing type of person, I'd be doing everything in my power to get my hands on those. Just, if nothing else, for personal satisfaction, just go see what it can do on your local body, because it is something that is keying into the fish's lateral line in a way that they've never experienced before. Much like when you take a glide bait around fish that have never seen a glide before. So that all
like crack in the 80s,
being
bro.
said, go try it out and catch your biggest fish on it. I mean, we got our good buddy Alex Sandville. You know, he told us he's been dying to catch a 5-pound smallmouth or a spotted bass, excuse me, in the Carolinas, right? Forever. I might be divulging a secret here. I'm sorry, Alex, but I mean, everyone's like, he throws that koiki ball, he catches a 5-pounder like first a week, and then he said he lost one bigger. And Alex is a stick, and he's been fishing there for years. So that stupid thing, boy.
Gotta give credit when it's due.
Go try it out, though. That's my rec. That's my serious rec for anyone that's like launching on lakes and going to catch bass. Go do it now, because in 2 years it's going to be irrelevant. In 2 years, everyone's going to throw in a million koikis with live scope, and they're not going to bite them the same. You got to do it now. You got to get in.
The next one is going to be a pyramid. The next trend is going to be a soft pyramid. Wait, I can't do that. Wait, hold on. Wait. It's going to be a soft pyramid, guys. Somebody said that they're going to be gone.
I did that as a joke, and it made that the thumbnail of our pod one time. Like one of the thumbnail pods is me doing the.
There are no coincidences.
Illuminati.
Somebody said that they're going to go on a few hot and ready diets for the retro. I'm going to give you a hat, guys. For your first couple swim baits that are like on the expensive side, either get a knockoff or get it resale. Get it and specifically get it resale, because I'm like the swim bait snob here, right? With the unfortunately the expensive baits, and I can't tell you how many times I've dodged a bullet where I could have bought something retail, but I decided to wait and then buy it on resale and get it for half off, and then figure out I actually hate it, and I saved myself a couple $100. Get it on resale first, and then if you like it, then get it a friend, and then get that retail, because we also should support our builders as well, so we can keep them in business.
Well said, Desmond. Well said. Chad. I used to get bit on the Chad a couple of years ago. I was rocking that Chad boy. BP.
Chad got some lore.
BP Chad bite.
Got some lore.
At the BP?
Oh, son.
I'm not gonna lie. I get scared of hanging up there. Not to give too much lore. I get scared of hanging up there because not to give too much lore. I get scared of hanging up there.
The Freemasons made the koiki. That's true. That's true. We know that that's true.
It does resemble COVID-19.
The virus.
The virus.
The
Taking
American
fishing
Baitworks, they
industry
actually
by
came out
storm.
with a net bait, the virus.
Yeah.
That's
Great
the
name.
best
On
name.
everyone right now.
That's the best name for it that I've seen. I like the virus. Like that's keeping it real. That's what that thing actually looks like.
The
So
virus.
And then
shout
when
out
it
to the
takes
virus,
off,
man.
it went viral.
If you know, you know. That's right,
Damn,
NSB.
it went viral. That's crazy.
The cure
That's
was
It
the
went
virus.
viral. Oh,
That's
The
almost
cure
good
to the
as
skunk.
scandalous.
It pays to be scandalous. I coined that. I want my royalties.
You bet. You
Black
better
Rock.
hit up meds. You better hit
Black
up
Rock. I
meds.
want my royalties.
we did catch lake trout. How you know about that? What you the feds? Below the Niagara. That's OG Larry. That's like no one knows about that. That's why I'm asking if you're the feds, because that's like, if you know that, like no one knows that.
Off topic. How are you feeling about Wemby? How does the pod feel about
I
Mr.
don't know.
Wembenyama?
Have you, Julie, is Wemby going off right now?
I feel like he's the greatest human being of all time.
I don't know. What's the score? It's game 1.
No, I don't even know.
Okay.
I don't even know. I'm rocking with the Spurs. I'm not gonna lie. I'm rocking with
We're
the
gonna
Spurs.
be, Johnny and I are gonna be in New York on Friday in the city.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be electric.
Yeah.
We're gonna ask people this or that, and it's gonna be a mystery tackle box or a Knicks hat. We're gonna hand mystery tackle boxes out to Knicks fans outside of MSG.
Wow, that's fire.
That's gonna be hilarious. Man.
It'll
That's
be
gonna
fun.
be hilarious.
Yeah, it's
Video,
gonna be
bro.
a good time.
But
Let's see, we got anything else good, man, in the chat? Wemby's the future.
he is the future. He is the future.
All right,
Yeah.
Spurs are up.
Roman Circus.
Unreal is funny, man.
Is that Unreal
Alright.
Fishing?
That's unreal, bro.
That's funny.
unreal.
No, I don't
That's the-
think so. I think that might. I don't know.
Yeah, it
Let me
is.
see. You already outdoors. Hit us up. We want to
That's
make
not
sure.
unreal. Yeah, is it or is it not? God damn.
I don't know.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so.
No,
No,
it's not.
that's not
Oh,
unreal.
damn.
That's not
Damn.
unreal.
Well, shout out to
Oh.
you regardless. You are
Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you, man. Well, I mean, that pretty much wraps it up, guys. Do we have any upcoming problems?
He is the feds. See? See? I told you.
See, we have a Black Rock associate here.
Yeah. Just watch out for that guy. NMK Fishing 9228. Is that your badge number? Great chat tonight. Hey, the viewership it's funny. The viewership is increased, the strongest it's been
Yes.
2.5 hours in almost, or what? We're over 2 hours. So thank you to
I think
everyone in the chat.
The only
tonight for
time it was
hanging.
crazier than this was the Epstein episode.
Oh
that
yeah.
was
I mean,
insane.
you can't top that.
That
That
was
was insane.
good. That was
You
good.
can't top when you're talking about the big Stein, and sweeping
Stein,
the
Palm
point
Beach
on
Pete.
the sweeping Little St. James Point.
And MK
Jig.
kissed the wall. Ah.
Well,
Listen, 21, episode 21, chop block, goated. What do you guys got going on? What's the week's forecast for the gang here?
yeah.
Locking in.
Yeah, exactly.
Locking in.
You got a guide trip coming up here soon, Kai, this weekend? You said?
Next week.
Okay.
Yeah. So
You get
just
back-
want to
you
lock
get
in,
back out in the
lock in
field
a
later
little bit
this week?
more this week. Yeah. Try and dial in what the fuck's going on, and hopefully things stay similar to how they are now next week. We'll see.
I
Hopefully
hope
we get
so.
some more cloudy days.
Yeah.
Pray for more rain. I hope the rain
Oh
keeps
my
coming,
God.
man. That's
More
gonna
rain,
be what
man.
we need right now. How about you, Desmond? What you got going on?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of got on like a conventional bite today, but it reminded me how much I actually miss throwing the big baits. So I told myself I'm locking in. I'm throwing the T10. I'm throwing the mother. I'm not gonna stop until I get a couple fish on it. Not just one. I want to get multiple, and I need to get it on footage. I need to get it on Cash to Catch. I'm
That's
tired of
the
seeing.
key. Not easy.
It's
Not
not easy.
easy.
Not at all.
As soon as I strap on the GoPro, it's like I lose. I get the IQ of a thermometer, basically. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
The IQ of a thermometer. We are going to end it on that. That is the quote of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, 21. We'll see you next week in
See you
7
guys.
days. I'm a giant! I'm the PB!